Thank you, Matt. Guys got back from the Arkansas swing at 5:50 Sunday morning. Had a day of rest yesterday, and looking forward to getting back into practice today and getting ready for the Georgia trip. We played pretty good basketball on both these games. Could have won each game. I was really impressed with our preparation, our focus, and we did a good job. I thought we got better defensively and made some good strides. Unfortunately, we had a lapse late in the game where we didn't defend as well, and it cost us. Didn't get many favors either at Jonesboro, but I like our group. I like the way that we played this week, and feel good going forward with what we have in front of us. A lot of basketball to be played, and we're close. We should have won the game in Jonesboro. We let it slip away. Missed a couple of good opportunities there at the end. Had a good shot at it. But we're close, and I feel like got an opportunity to right the ship this week and get a road victory and get right back in this race.
Speaking about your defense, it seems like we're always talking about that second half in Jonesboro. Was it a communication thing, fatigue, execution? What were you seeing maybe to lose that double-digit lead? What was going on?
Well, they were able to go to the free throw line a couple of times that I didn't see. I sure didn't see that, and get points with the clock stopped. But they made a couple of plays going to the basket, and we did a great job defending the three. We've really done a good job of that. We're going to need that going forward against Georgia Southern for sure. But just a combination of things late in the game that when it goes wrong sometimes we need to get a stop. We don't. I think the Little Rock game we closed 2 of 20 from the field, and they were 9 of 12. We closed 2 of 10 against Arkansas State, 0 for 6, and they finished 5 of 6. So, and we gave both those teams 40% from the field. So you take that little stretch out the end, and we would have given them in the 30s. So our defense has improved. We've got to make shots. Basketball is a simple game. When the ball goes in, offense looks good, defense looks good, and good things usually happen. But we have not shot the ball well this season, and we need to make shots. Said it last week, I'll say it again.
Seems like your confidence is up.
Mental block that's there from practice to game time?
I think when we start hitting a couple that the basket will get a little bit bigger. Again, in practice, we make 12, 15 in a row in our shooting drills. And remember last year we played Arkansas State at home. I want to say we were 16 for 26 in that game. So we're going to bust out, and hopefully it'll be a fight at the bat rack when that happens.
Did it mean anything for Sean to be the conference's all-time leading rebounder? I know you've said before wins and losses are really the only thing he's concerned with. But.
Yeah, I think it does mean a little bit to him. I know he's spoken with Rubit, and Rubit was supportive, and he got Rubit on both rebounding and scoring the other night. And we talked about it. I mentioned it before the game to the team, and Sean, all he wanted was a win that night. And yeah, the career-leading rebounder got 15 the other night, or ever how many he got, but he needed one more, because if we rebound that missed free throw, we win the game. It's pretty simple.
Did you ever get an explanation on how you guys ended up with 4 in a row on the road twice?
No, I don't think there is an explanation. The other teams that are about to go through some tough times as well, and then we'll go back with it again, Tim. But no, I don't deal with the conference office. I don't call them. That's Scott Farmer's job. So we just try to play what's the hand that's dealt, whether it be the schedule, the official schedule, whatever we have. And sometimes it's frustrating, but we just have to take it one game at a time and get prepared for the tournament.
Last week you talked about the luxury of having a player like Sean, but emphasized the importance of having good guard play. Right now, what do you see maybe the positive coming from your guards and maybe some of the things they need to improve?
We got better on this trip, and we're going to have to play well at the guard spot in Statesboro on Thursday night and in Atlanta on Saturday afternoon. Jay Wright struggled from the field. He didn't score the other day, but he really did what we wanted him to do. We sat him down, talked to him, wanted him to penetrate, get in the lane, and try to find shooters. He did do a good job of that. Steve hit a couple of shots. Casey hit a couple. or hit one. Hayward hit a couple. But we need our guards to continue to improve. And we need better, consistent play from our guards. We've been up and down. And had a good call yesterday from Coach Hatfield, and we talked for half an hour, and he said, I'll tell you this, one thing has never changed in the game. They can change the rules, the arc, the time, whatever, but the one constant that's never changed is guard play. And a good guard, you have to have a good guard to win. So I certainly agree with that. And I think any coach will tell you, as we talked about last week, it's nice to have 21. And I love Sean. I've enjoyed coaching him. He's a special talent. But you win with guard play. So we need to pick it up, and our guys need to step up and continue to improve.
What's been the biggest difference from Jay Wright last season and this season? Is it now that there's more of the burden of pressure squarely on his shoulders?
I don't know that it's pressure. He may feel like it is, but it's no different than it was a year ago. We've got basically the same team. He was playing with a lot of confidence, shooting the ball well, and he's going to bust out. He had a few 20-point games for us last year. He hasn't done that this year. This will be an interesting game for him going to Statesboro, because last year he had 50 tickets, or he used up our allotment, on a couple of phone calls. I think half his high school was there. And they've got a good guard as well, Tukey Brown, that is another local guy that signed with Mississippi State and then left and went to Statesboro with a coaching change. And they're similar players, so they'll match up head-to-head in this game, so that'll be interesting as well. But Jay will play better at Statesboro this year than he did last year. Promise you that.
Coach, Georgia State, you look at some of their guys, R.J. Hunter, Harrow, guys that they have had previously. It seemed like those guys were able to do a lot of stuff because of their length and athleticism. They did a lot of stuff one-on-one, kind of off the dribble. With those guys not being in the equation, are they kind of a different deal now compared to what they have been?
Well, they're playing similar. They're still playing zone. Kevin Ware has stepped up for them. He's really played well. I thought he was just okay last year, but he stepped up and he's leading their team. And they've got a young man, Hollowell, that transferred from Indiana that's a top 100 high school recruit. They're starting to play a little bit better. I want to say he had 22 on Saturday. But haven't looked at them that much, Brian. I'll focus on those guys here in the next couple of days.
Do your guys put any more emphasis on Georgia State just because of what it's been over the last few years, or do you try and get them just to treat it like anything else?
I think we treat it like every game, Tim. It's the next game. It's a conference game, important game. We haven't played well in that arena, and we're due to have a good game. Maybe that's a game we'll bust out our three-point shooting. We'll need it. And it's good to play these guys there first. We've always played last. You go back to the schedule. Your question earlier, Arkansas State, we played up there last twice, and we've won. That would have been the sixth win in a row versus Arkansas State. That's how close we were to burying those guys. We beat them 5, but every time we play them at home and then go up there, we sweep. But we haven't. This is 4 times we've had to do the opposite. But this will be the first time we've gone to Georgia State first to play those guys, and it'll be the next game, and just one that is important. They went to the tournament last year, so they got a target on their back as well.
Has anyone stepped up leadership-wise in your eyes, Coach?
Yeah, we're working at it as a team. I think our captains have. Steve, Casey, Jay. Sean's done a good job. Bryce, Stove. I mean, we got a group that's pulling together. And again, I saw us grow on this trip. And I feel good about where we are defensively. And just we need to have some good things happen and try to get on a roll.
How big is it to have guys step up in that regard?
In the leadership role, it's important. I mean, that's what it's all about. And again, I saw that throughout the game at Jonesboro especially. We came out at halftime, had 14 consecutive stops to start the second half, really played well and blew a couple of opportunities and got a couple of charge calls against us and one basket taken away, or we could have had a bigger lead. but the guys really rallied behind each other, and then even all the way to the end of the game. We executed, at the end of the first half, we executed our play and got a basket with about 3 seconds to go, a three-pointer for Hayward, and then we executed our end-of-game situation perfectly the other night. We just missed a shot. So leadership's been good, and the guys are staying the course.
Steve, getting the start on Saturday, right? Is that just trying to shuffle and find a spark there? Or is that
Just he's outplayed those guys, Luke, and I thought he played well the other night. Had a couple of big three-pointers for us. He's done a good job in practice. Casey struggled the last couple of games. He's been better coming off the bench. So just trying to find a rhythm there with our rotation, and would like to move some other guys around too. We'll see how practice goes this week and what happens.
It seems like kind of like a consistent thing with Casey. You know, like he seems to be most comfortable coming off the bench. I know he's told you that before. Is that kind of like a battle that you have to like wage inside your own head, saying this guy's one of our most explosive playmakers, but he performs better coming off the bench?
And that's been the case. He's given us a spark off the bench, although if you go back to the App State game at home, which a lot of you people saw, he played very well early and shared the ball and got us off to a good start. I'd like to bring him off the bench, but he's got to be consistent. He wasn't consistent. He didn't get off to a good start at Arkansas State or Little Rock, excuse me. And so we brought him off the bench at A-State.
Seemed like Hedgeman and Wooten were really kind of into it in Jonesboro, but just intensity-wise. How is their transition to levels gone?
Well, they've struggled. Like most junior college players, they come out against Mississippi College and score 19 and 13 or whatever, and everybody's ready to anoint them, and they're not ready. They haven't played a Division I game yet, and they've struggled, and we've been disappointed with their output. And production-wise, effort's been good recently, as you mentioned, Tim, but they need to get more done. Jay Hedgeman played defensively to end the game. I put Sean in on the last play. Jay was in. They called the foul with 7 or 15 seconds to go, and I put Sean back in to rebound the basketball. Jay was in for defensive purposes, and Sean was out of the game. But Jay played 7 minutes and played okay, but he didn't get a rebound. I mean, you got to get a rebound in 7 minutes, I would think. So that's what we told him after the game. So we want their production to come up. Tyrone's been struggling a little bit confidence-wise, but he's capable of busting out. He could have been big for us Saturday. He didn't play good in the first half, and he could be big for us on this Thursday.
Everybody good?
Thanks, guys.